Shame, shame. Shame, shame. Shame, shame. Shame, shame. Shame, shame. Roma, Roma, you can't hide. You entrance with genocide. Roma, Roma, you can't hide. You entrance with genocide. Roma, Roma, you can't hide. You entrance with genocide.
What does it tell you when you literally flip the bird and swear at people just because they're having coffee in a Jewish restaurant? You're not for Gaza. You couldn't even find it on a map. You just hate Jews, and you're amazed what you're allowed to get away with week after week. I mean, flipping the bird is the least of it. The violence, the smashing the windows. I don't know if you saw this a few days ago. Windows smashed at a Jewish synagogue, and no one gives a damn anymore because it's a daily occurrence. That's nothing compared to Ottawa. Listen to some of these absolutely insane genocidal chants. Take a look.
Revolution! From the river to the sea! From the river to the sea! When I say from the river to the sea, you reply with Palestine is almost free, because our resistance attacks are proof that we are almost free. October 7th is proof that we are almost free. Long live October 7th! Long live the resistance! Long live the Intifada! Long live every form of resistance! From the river to the sea! From the river to the sea! From the river to the sea!
And what's the response to it? Oh, on Twitter, some people tut-tut, but not a damn thing. The truckers were thrown in jail. Police came out with riot horses. The country was put under martial law for a few days of horn honking and some parking infractions. Here you have death threats, calls for genocide. What has been going on for 6 months now, and all Justin Trudeau can say is, hey, that's democracy, really. But what's happened in Canada is nothing to what happened compared to what happened over the weekend in the United States. Some of the finest schools in America, obviously Harvard, we know a lot about that, Yale, Columbia in New York City, MIT, perhaps the most prestigious university in America. Just what happened here is so astonishing. Not just the pro-Gaza and anti-Israel commentary, not just the anti-Semitic commentary, but in two instances, someone who was visibly Jewish. He had a beard and he had a black hat, a kind of, most Jews are not visibly identifiable by how they wear their hair or their attire. They look sort of regular. But when there's very conspicuous Jews, these protesters blocked them from campus. These are not Israelis. These are not soldiers. These are Americans who were literally blocked on several campuses. Take a look at this instance.
Do you see what you guys are doing to us?
We are going
Do you
to
see how hostile
slowly
this is? And you're asking me not to record?
walk and take a step forward.
Yeah, I absolutely feel threatened right now.
So that we can start to push them out of the camp. One step forward. Another step forward. We ask that you please respect our privacy and our community guidelines, which you have so far disrespected, and leave our camp. One step forward.
One step forward.
You know, that reminds me of this image from Vienna in the 1930s, where Nazis would literally have a human chain blocking Jews from going into university in Vienna, which was probably one of the leading cities which was one of the leading cities in Europe, the most intellectual, the most cultural. Well, a bunch of Nazi brown shirts just thought they would block the entry, and the cops did nothing, and the politicians did nothing, and it wasn't about convincing people; it was about showing what the new normal is. Columbia, which by the way costs almost $100,000 a year Canadian funds, like it's one of the most expensive universities in America. These are not oppressed people there. These are the richest, most pampered, privileged kids in America. They turned the campus into a kind of shanty town there. People's University, we're going to take it. People's University, sister, your parents paid $100,000 a year for you to be there. And they set up this shanty town, and they threatened any Jew who would try to pass. And incredibly, today, the president of the university said, basically, the thugs win. They're shutting down the entire campus today. There may be some classes live streamed on Zoom. Is that what you paid your $100,000 a year for? And the university will negotiate with the anti-Semites outside. That's actually what the university president published today. And one Israeli professor, who's Jewish as well, said, well, I would like to go in to the university. And the police blocked him. The police blocked the Jewish Israeli professor, but they are having negotiations with the haters. Take a look at this Israeli trying to get in.
Card has been deactivated? Why? Can you back up, please? Wait. Everybody, my card has been deactivated. This is Cass Holloway, the COO. This is Gerald Lewis. They were in the meeting where I asked them if Hamas is a terror organization, and they couldn't say that it is a terrorist organization. Why? I'm a professor here. Why can't I?
Shy,
No, speak out loud so the media
Shy,
can hear.
we are willing to take you to the math lawn.
No, I am a professor here.
Alumnus. We have a
Whoa, everybody quiet. I am a professor here. I have every right to be everywhere on campus. You cannot let people that support Hamas on campus and me, a professor, not go on campus. Let me in now.
Let us in.
No.
I mean, Columbia is amongst the most insane, but students at Yale, I mean, it's just as crazy over there. Here's Yale preventing a Jewish student from entering. I mean, they're not even pretending. I mentioned the Vienna example, but I think another example from slightly more recent history is in the 50s and 60s when schools were integrated by race. And black students in the South wanted to go to schools alongside the white students, and there were racist reactions to that. And so the U.S. military literally sent armed soldiers with army helmets on to escort those little black boys and girls into the school. And I think that's the way to think about this. Stop talking about Jews and Palestinians for a second. Imagine if you were talking about blacks and whites, if you had the KKK burning crosses on the lawn and linking arms to stop any kid who looked black or even half black or even quarter black from going in. I mean, that's the kind of racism that the KKK might use. But how is that any different from what the anti-Israel protesters are doing now? You would bring in riot squads, you would bring in fire hoses. If there were physical violence, if they were physically attacking Jews, if they were physically blocking Jews from getting into campus. But in this case, no, they're actually shutting down Columbia and negotiating with the protesters, many of whom, by the way, are not even American. Although, look at this clip from Yale. These are definitely born in America Americans. Who taught them to burn the American flag? I find that absolutely stunning. Who taught them that?
Viva Palestina!
I mean, we've seen that sort of thing in Toronto, too, when David Menzies and our cameraman Lincoln Jay go to cover some of these anti-Israel protests. The Palestinian side physically attack them. Sometimes with the assistance of Antifa, they sort of block things. They put up umbrellas as one of their moves, and they punch and they kick and they steal a cell phone and they do something sort of low grade. That happened over the weekend as well. In this one case, take a look, someone getting hit in the eye with a flagpole.
Rest is closed. Divest. Okay, so now there's a full wall. Divest. We will not stop. We will not rest this closed. Divest. We will not stop. We will not rest this closed. Divest.
See, I can't move forward.
We will not rest this closed. We will not rest this closed. Divest. Ow, you stop.
If you're having trouble figuring out what's right and wrong here, swap in any other ethnicity or characteristic. If these were gay kids being attacked by homophobes, I don't know if such a thing has ever happened in the last 50 years. Maybe it has. Or think about the Charlottesville tiki torch people. How is this any different than that? And that was the target of national excoriation for weeks. I think it's incredible because I know that a lot of these universities, Yale, Harvard, Columbia, MIT, were forever liberal bastions. They were the progressive folks. They were the anti-racism folks, the diversity, equity, and inclusion folks. They were the liberals, the good guys. Most of all, they said they were anti-racist. But they weren't. I think it was all a lie. It was a cover to be the most racist people in the world. They said they're progressive. They're the most reactionary people in the world. They said they're for peace and love. They're the most violent people in the world. They said for open-mindedness. They're the most closed-minded in the world.